everyone, welcome to my channel Bibbidi Bobbidi Books. My name is Ellie and this is going to be my Summerween reading vlog. So today is the 7th of July, which means it's the first day of Summerween, which is a week-long readathon that's hosted by Gabby Reads and Olivia Reads a Latte. This is such a fun reading vlog and I just love the whole idea of basically having an excuse to read spooky things and to get into Halloween-y feels during the summer, because Halloween is absolutely my favourite time of the year, and any excuse to have a little bit more Halloween in my life and I'm going to be right there. So yeah, I'm very excited for this readathon. I do have a very busy week ahead of me. I work full time and I'm in between two places at the moment, so I'm doing lots of travelling. So whether or not I'll be able to succeed in this readathon remains to be seen, but I'm going to give it a good go and I'm really excited. So yeah, I thought I'd just open the video and just introduce you to what I'm hopefully going to be reading this week. So there are several prompts to fulfill, so I'm just going to go through them now. So the first one is to read a book in the dark. So I feel like that one's quite easy to achieve because I can read any of my books on my TBR in the dark and then it's one ticked off the list. The next prompt is to read a thriller, and for that I'm going to be choosing Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kwang. So this is a literary thriller and I've been wanting to read it for ages because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book, and it just has a really interesting premise to me because I believe this book basically calls out the publishing industry for the racism within the way that it operates, and it also has a lot of satire about modern day racism, and it just sounds so interesting because in this book we follow a white American author who is struggling with her career, and then her friend Athena Liu, who is an Asian American author that is incredibly successful, ends up tragically dying, and June decides to steal one of her unpublished manuscripts and to edit it and to publish it herself under a racially ambiguous name. I think she changes her name to Juniper Song. So yeah, it's dealing with a lot of really interesting topics. So I'm really excited to get into this one and I feel like it's going to be really juicy. So yeah, that's going to be my thriller of choice. The next prompt is a book that takes place in the fall. So I had to do a little bit of researching to try and find a book that takes place in the autumn, but I found this one that really intrigues me. So it's a book called The Stillwater Girls. I'll put a picture up on the screen for you. But yeah, this sounds really interesting. I'm just going to read you the premise. So it says, ignorant of civilization and cautioned against its evils, 19-year-old Ren and her two sisters, Sage and Evie, were raised in off-the-grid isolation in a primitive cabin in upstate New York. When the youngest grows gravely ill, their mother leaves with the child to get help from a nearby town and they never return. As months pass, hope vanishes, supplies are low, livestock are dying, a brutal winter is bearing down. Then comes the stranger. He claims to be looking for the girl's mother and he's not leaving without them. To escape, Ren and her sister must break the rule they've grown up with, never to go beyond the forest. Past the thicket of dread, they come upon a house on the other side of the pines. This is where Ren and Sage must confront something more chilling than the unknowable. They'll discover what's been hidden from them, what they're running from, and the secrets that have left them in the dark their entire lives. How good does that sound? And I don't think this book is too long as well, so I feel like it's perfect for a readathon because hopefully I can get through it quite quickly. The next prompt is to read a book with black or orange on the cover. So for this prompt, I am going to be reading The Vessel by Adam L. G. Neville. This book has one of the most terrifying covers that I've ever seen, and I am on the hunt for a horror book that will actually scare me, because I've read quite a few horror books that have been creepy or have made me feel a bit grossed out, but I've never been properly scared by a horror book. And I saw the cover of this one and I just thought, if anything's going to scare me, it's going to be this because it looks absolutely terrifying. I honestly don't know a huge amount about this one. All I know is that the main character is a live-in carer who is looking after this old woman who lives in a really remote house, and then creepy stuff starts to happen, and I think it has like psychological elements to it. I think it might have culty vibes, so all of that sounds very intriguing. I'm deliberately going into this one blind because I want to be surprised and I don't want to have any clues as to what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm just excited and slightly terrified to read that one, but of course it's got black on the cover, so that's why I chose it as well. Okay, and the final prompt is to read a manga, a graphic novel, or a novella. So for this one, I could carry on reading One Piece, which is a manga that I've been really enjoying recently, but that one doesn't really feel very like Halloween-y, so I feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure if I want to pick up that one. I know that the book that I picked for a book that's set in the fall is quite short, so I feel like that could count if I want to like double up on prompts, but if not, a book that I do want to get to is a book called A Mirror Mended, written by Alex E. Harrow. So this is the second book in a series that this author has come out with, and it's a series of novellas that are inspired by fairy tales, and I don't know, fairy tales give me kind of Halloween-y vibes, so I feel like maybe that's kind of fitting. I don't think this one's going to be scary, but I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be like cozy and whimsical and give me the autumny feels that I'm craving in the middle of summer. So yeah, that's the final one that I'm going to have on this TBR. As I said, whether or not I get to all of these books remains to be seen, but I'm going to give it a good go and I'm super excited. So yeah, welcome to the vlog, and I'll keep you posted with my reading as we go. Hey everyone, so it's the next day and I just wanted to quickly jump on here and give you a reading update because I did end up reading quite a bit of Yellowface last night. So I am just past the 100-page mark, so I've made quite a dent in this one and I've been really enjoying it. It's such a compelling read. So this book is a literary thriller, and it's about an author called June. She's a white American author and she has been struggling with her career, and she is fairly good friends with an author called Athena Liu, who's a Asian American author and who has been incredibly successful with her career. And June has a lot of jealousy for Athena, but she kind of keeps that hidden. But because we're in her head while reading this book, it's really, really clear that she has this almost obsession with Athena and this intense jealousy. And then one day Athena ends up tragically dying in this freak accident, and June is actually with her when she dies, and June decides to steal one of Athena's unpublished manuscripts and she edits it, gets it ready for publication and decides to publish it herself. And she publishes it under a racially ambiguous name, so she publishes it under the name of Juniper Song, and the manuscript or the book that she's publishing is actually about Chinese labourers in World War I. And yeah, we're just kind of following the aftermath of that and the extremes that June will go to kind of keep this lie alive, I guess. And it's so weird because it's all told from June's perspective, so we're very much in her head and we're hearing all of her justifications for the reasons why she's doing things and what she's telling herself, you know, to convince herself that what she's doing is right, and we're seeing all of her like opinions. And it's also given me a great insight into the publishing industry as well, because it talks a lot about the editing process and suggestions that are made by publishers to make a book more sellable, and it's just so interesting, but also makes you feel kind of icky reading it because you're reading from June's point of view, and from an outside perspective it's really clear that what June's doing is incredibly wrong on so many levels, but we're hearing her voice constantly, and it's just a really interesting book. And it's really clear that the author has taken a lot of inspiration from her own experiences working in the publishing industry and it's just a really insightful book to me as someone who doesn't know much about publishing, to kind of see almost the politics that goes behind publishing books and the drama, and it's so juicy and it's really, really compelling. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this one, so I'm excited to carry on reading it. But anyway, I'm actually currently on my lunch break at work, so I need to go out and get some food, and then I need to hop back on and do some more work, carry on with my work day. But I will check in with you a little bit later when I have another update. So I've finished work and I've done a little bit more reading, so I just wanted to hop on here and give you a little bit of an update because I have read the next 50 pages of Yellow Face. So I'm up to chapter 12 and I'm still really enjoying this one. What I will say is that there's lots of interesting discussions about cancel culture and also the effect of social media on people's professional lives. So obviously this is talking about the publishing industry, and it goes into a little bit of detail about how, you know, social media and the online community can have a real negative impact on an author's success, and you know how devastating rumours can be. And yeah, it's just a really interesting look at social media and how, you know, that actually affects people's real lives and their businesses and their livelihoods. So yeah, I'm really enjoying kind of getting a little bit of insight into that side of things. What I will say is that I'm still finding June a really annoying character, because I feel like there's moments where she has an opportunity to open her eyes a little bit and to expand her worldview and to just offer a little bit more empathy for Athena Liu, her friend who she's obviously stolen this manuscript for, because she's starting to experience some of the things that Athena Liu also experienced in terms of negativity online and things like this. But June just she never really like relates to Athena. She never really has that moment of clarity where she's like, okay, actually she did have a really hard time or anything like this. Everything is always so much worse for June. She really victimizes herself and she says, oh yeah, I remember when Athena went through something similar to this, but it's so much worse for me because XYZ. And it's just like so like frustrating, and yeah, so it's kind of irritating reading from her perspective, but it's also quite interesting seeing things through that lens. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying that one. It's getting tense, you know, things are escalating, and as I said before, it's such a page turner, so it's really easy to fly through. Anyway, I am going to head off now because we've got friends coming over this evening. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is very exciting. So I need to go and sort myself out before people come. But I will probably pop on later today or maybe tomorrow to give you an update as and when I have read some more and have something to talk to you about. Okay, bye for now. Hey everyone, it's Monday and I am back in Chester. If you don't know, I am kind of in between two places at the moment. I am having to go back to Norwich, my house in Norwich, every other week for work, and the rest of the time I am up here in Cheshire. So yeah, it's quite a stressful time at the moment. I had a really long drive yesterday, but I made it. I'm here safe and sound, and I wanted to just give you an update on my reading. During the long drive yesterday, I didn't actually read any of my Summerween TBR just because I was sharing the drive with my partner Danny, and we're actually reading The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie at the moment on audio, so we were both listening to that on the drive up, and we're quite near the end of that one now. I think we've only got a couple of hours left on the audiobook, which is very exciting. So yeah, we've both been loving that series. If you haven't heard of it before, it's a grimdark adult fantasy series, so it's got a really gritty fantasy kind of feel, and it's incredibly character focused. So you follow a whole cast of morally grey characters, none of whom are the good guy, none of whom are particularly likable, but at the same time you can't help but root for them, because Joe Abercrombie uses quite a lot of humour in his writing, and I don't know, you really get to know these characters and you find yourself becoming invested in their stories. And yeah, it's incredibly character driven. It hasn't been particularly clear where the plot's been going. For the first two books, there's been lots of different threads of plot going throughout the series, and it's really nice in this final book to start to see those threads weaving together and to see how it all kind of slots into place. So it's been quite a satisfying read. So yeah, we both were really enjoying that one on the way up. And then today I have the day off work and I went out and got my hair done, which is great. I no longer have roots, which is amazing. It's looking a little bit like not as nice as it did before because it's raining outside, and I actually walked back from the hairdressers, but I'm pleased with the colour, which is the main thing. And whilst I was there, I actually took my Kindle and to do some reading. So I started The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent, and I've got up to page 39, which says I'm 31% of the way through, and I've been enjoying this one. It's such a page turner. It's really compelling because the chapters are nice and short, and it's told from two different perspectives, so you're kind of flicking between 2 points of view, which makes it a really addictive read. So yeah, I've been enjoying this one. I've got a lot of intrigue. So yeah, this one follows two main perspectives, as I said. The first one is of a girl who lives in this isolated house in the forest, and she lives with her younger sister, and they were actually abandoned by their mum, who had to leave because their younger sister Evie was unwell. So her mum took her away to go and get some medicine and to get some medical help, and left the two older sisters on their own in this isolated house with the instruction to never answer the door to anyone and not to leave. And their mum never returned, and it's a really weird situation because these girls live in kind of like a really old-fashioned style. They have no electricity, they live off the land, so they basically survive off you know, eggs that are produced by their chickens. They've got goats, they grow potatoes, and it's just a really weird old-fashioned style of living, which isn't normal, obviously. And then the second point of view is of a middle-aged woman who is having some marital issues. So her and her partner have been, I guess, growing apart, you could say. She actually found out that she had to have an emergency hysterectomy, so she can't actually have kids, and I think that put a lot of strain on their marriage. And it's very clear that she has a lot of jealousy and a lot of, I don't know, she's not got any trust for her husband anymore. She's very suspicious of him. He seems to be acting weird, but it's not clear whether that's kind of her misinterpreting things or if he is actually maybe having an affair or something. But yeah, we're following that perspective as well. And yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying the perspective from the two young girls in the isolated house in the woods much more than the other perspective, and I'm just very intrigued to find out why they've been told they can't leave, what happened to their mum, why they're living in such an old-fashioned weird way. And yeah, I just have a lot of intrigue. I haven't been scared yet, but it's just intriguing and unsettling, and I'm excited to see how the two different perspectives tie in together. So yeah, I've been enjoying that one. It's quite a short book. It's only, I think, just over 200 pages, so I'm hoping to finish it today, and it's for the prompt of a book that's set in autumn, although I have now read it and it does start in November, so it's kind of winter rather than autumn, but I'm still counting it. Anyway, I am going to head off now and do some more reading, and I guess I'll chat to you a little bit later. everyone. So it is the next day and I just wanted to film a little bit of an update whilst I'm on my lunch break and whilst I'm enjoying my nice cup of coffee. It is horrendously rainy today. I don't know what's happened to the summer here in the UK, but basically it's just been raining all day. But I'm not going to lie, I kind of love it because it's really cozy and I'm really fortunate in that I get to work from home, so I don't have to go out in the terrible weather. So yeah, I'm just going to enjoy this coffee, and I just wanted to let you know that I did end up finishing the Stillwater Girls last night, and I have really mixed opinions on that one because for the most part I had a really good reading experience because I was really flying through the pages. It's a really compulsive read, I think, because there's two different perspectives and each chapter ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So it's a really addictive read, and that's exactly what I want from a thriller. I was really intrigued by the situation. I wanted to find out why these girls were in this situation that they were in, what's going on. I wanted to know why the two different perspectives were related and how they all linked together in the story. So I was like really enjoying it. But then I got to about the page 200 mark and we had the big twist, and I didn't see the twist coming, which is really good, but it also felt like the kind of twist that I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like it was a little bit like lazy writing in that, I don't know, I just didn't really believe the twist. And there were lots of other things in this story as well that were kind of unbelievable. It's really hard to talk about this without spoilers, but I feel like it was quite unrealistic, some of the situations that were discussed in here, and the ending was quite idealistic, I want to say, and for that reason it just took me out of the story and made me not believe it. And I feel like in a contemporary thriller I want to believe the situation, and yeah, so I was just a little bit disappointed basically by the ending and by some of the ways things wrapped up in this book. So yeah, I've got mixed opinions, but I'm glad that I read it, and for the most part I had a fun reading experience with it. So yeah, that's my thoughts really. Anyway, I need to get back to work soon. My lunch break runs out soon, so I'm just going to sit and enjoy this coffee and probably read a little bit of Yellowface. I'm hoping to finish that book by the end of today, which is good. I'm actually really excited to get back into it because I was really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm going to read a little bit more of Yellowface and then I will probably check in with you once I finish work. Hey guys, so it's actually pretty late. I think it's just about 10:30 and I've just been sitting outside in the garden doing some reading on my Kindle, and I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update because I started The Vessel and I've got up to chapter 13 and I've been really enjoying it. It's really creepy. We follow our main character who is a carer, and she takes on this job looking after a dementia patient, and she has this really strained relationship with her ex-husband, and she's trying to support her daughter as a single mum, so she really needs this job as a carer because it pays well. And so she looks after this old woman, and it quickly becomes apparent that the old lady, you know, is very confused and she's acting very bizarrely. She's quite aggressive. She literally like smacks the carer around the face, and she throws her lunch on the floor and she spits at her, and she speaks in strange languages. And her house is also a really creepy setting because she's kind of a hoarder. There's like stuff literally everywhere and it's all dusty and unclean, and she doesn't like anyone touching her stuff. And the main character has also found some creepy pictures that seem to show some kind of weird ritual thing. So I feel like there's going to be like some kind of culty ritual vibes to this story, and yeah, it's pretty creepy. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's been really fun reading it outside in the dark because it just adds to the kind of atmosphere. So yeah, I've been really having a good time sitting out here and reading it. But anyway, it's getting on, so I'm gonna have to go in and go to bed, but I will catch up with you tomorrow and let you know my thoughts when I finish this book. Hey everyone, this is probably the most unflattering angle ever, but I just wanted to switch the camera on and just chat to you while I'm getting ready because I'm actually going out for a meal tonight with Danny. So we're having like a little bit of an early birthday meal celebration. It's actually my birthday on the weekend, but I have plans. I'm actually going down to visit my family on the weekend and to do some wedding bits. I've got my dress try on fitting thing and I've got my hair and makeup trial and things like that. So unfortunately Danny can't come down that weekend, so we're kind of doing like an early birthday thing today. So I'm kind of in a little bit of a rush and need to do my hair and makeup. So I thought I'd just switch the camera on whilst I start to get ready. So last night I did start the vessel and I read most of it in the dark actually, which was really fun, and then I did actually finish it off today in my lunch break. So I didn't read that bit in the dark, but I read most of it, so I'm still counting it. And yeah, I feel like it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed the first half of the book more than the second half. I think it's a really hard one because it was entertaining, but I didn't find it as scary as I was hoping for. I'm still on the hunt for a horror book that will actually scare me, and I feel like there were just a lot of horror tropes in there. It almost felt like a movie to me, like it was really visual the way that things were described, and I could really see a lot of the scenes playing out in my head. But because of that, I don't know, I just could imagine some of the situations really clearly and picture them, and they looked kind of goofy to me in my imagination, so I actually found it kind of funny rather than scary, which isn't what you want really from a horror book. But I mean, I had a fun time with it. I do have a few issues with the ending. I feel like it was very rushed at the end and I wasn't that satisfied with sort of the conclusion of things. I still had a lot of questions, but it wasn't the kind of thing where it left you kind of speculating what actually happened or anything like that. It was more that I was like, okay, so that's the explanation that we're going for here, but hang on a minute, I still have questions like why, you know, just I can't go into it without spoilers, but I do just feel like the author left us filling in the blanks, but not in a good way. So I just feel like I wish the ending was fleshed out a little bit more, and I just wish that it was more scary in general because yeah, I wasn't frightened by this one. I just found it entertaining, I guess. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed by that one. I was really hoping to find a new, you know, creepy book that I was really going to enjoy. But hey, I had a fun time. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I am now going to finish getting ready and do my hair and stuff. Gonna go out and enjoy my meal, and then I think I'll probably check in with you tomorrow when I've next got another update. Ready? Let's go get some food. I'm starving. We're going to a restaurant I've not been to before actually. It's called, what's it called?
Miller and Carter.
Miller and Carter. I think it's like a steak restaurant. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's go. Hi everyone, editing Ellie, just quickly popping on here to film an outro for this video because when I was editing it I realised I never actually finished off this vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun filming this one. It was such a fun readathon and I'm really pleased with the amount that I got read considering I was so busy with work and I had a bit of a crazy week up and down from Cheshire to Norwich and everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. In terms of the prompts for Read a Book in the Dark, I read most of the vessel in the dark, so I'm counting that. I did finish it off the next day, but I did read quite a large amount of it sat out in the garden in the dark, so that was really fun. For a thriller, I read Yellowface. If you want to hear my full thoughts on that book, I will be doing a wrap up at the end of the month, but Just as a heads up, I really enjoyed it. I also read The Stillwater Girls, which is also a thriller, and that was for the prompt of a book that's set in the autumn, and that one actually takes place in November, which I think is kind of autumn, so I'm counting it. And yeah, I didn't get round to reading A Mirror Mended, but both The Vessel and The Stillwater Girls are short novella length stories, so I feel like that counts for the final prompt as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how I did this week. I hope you enjoyed following along with me. If you did enjoy it, please do give this video a like, because it lets me know that you like this kind of content, and do consider subscribing if you want to see more from me. Yeah, I'm wishing you all the best, and I guess I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!